day is it? It's Tuesday. Good morning. It's Tuesday, November the 20th. I think what I'm going to do today is just like a typical standard day in the life vlog. There is nothing extraordinarily interesting happening today. But I just like to stay in touch with you guys, so I decided to pick up the camera or make the choice to vlog, and hopefully I can keep up with that. This is the last week before we have a week off for Thanksgiving break, and it's just like an awkward week. We need to start the next unit of Study Sync, but I don't want to start that because next week is Thanksgiving break, and there will be a whole week of a gap in between, like the start of the unit and then picking it up, which just makes me feel nervous for some reason. Plus, kids tend to take the day off that Friday and Thursday. That's another reason. Plus, we have iReady testing that we need to take care of, so I don't want to start a unit and then have to pause for iReady testing. And I'm going to be out Thursday and Friday, so I don't want to sub to start a new unit. The dilemma is, and I honestly had like a slight panic attack about this yesterday, is my homeroom class is significantly ahead of my switch class, so they're not on the same lesson or pace in terms of history, and I don't want to start something new with my homeroom class to put them that much further ahead of my switch class. So last night I was just frustrated, panicking, because today is the day that I have my homeroom class longer. I have them for 2 class sessions, and so my thought was, what am I going to have them do if I can't teach them anything new in either history or language arts? I think I have it figured out. I have to go make sure before I tell you what it is. So when I get to my classroom right now, I'm gonna kind of map that out. It shouldn't be an issue, but I just want to make sure. Aside from that, like, I think everybody is just really struggling right now. I'm in Southern California. If this is your first time here, I teach 8th grade language arts, history, and social studies, and I've been teaching virtually since the beginning of the school year, and I have no idea when my virtual teaching life is going to come to an end, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon because cases all over the country are spiking, but we are really struggling in California. So I'm struggling with just like the unknown of when this is going to end. And I think the kids are obviously struggling, but now we're at the point where kids that weren't necessarily struggling as bad as others in the beginning are now struggling just as bad as others. So I have a couple of kids who are doing really well with virtual learning in the first trimester and are just tanking right now in the second trimester. And I talked to one of them and asked like what was going on, and he really was kind of emotional about it and said he just misses being around his teachers and his friends and at school, and he's just having a hard time like finding the motivation. And I think mentally those kids that are now struggling are struggling now because they don't know when this is going to end. None of us know. We don't have any answers for them. So, and I'm right there with them. Like, I just miss teaching kids in person, having conversations in person, watching them interact and all of that. And it is hard not to know when that's coming. I am feeling hopeful because, you know, there's promise with this vaccine, but even then we still don't know when this is going to end. So it's just been rough at the start of this new trimester. So anyway, I am getting ready to check in, take my temperature and all that, because that's what we have to do. And then I'm going to go in my classroom. I teach, how do I want to say this? I start late on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the sense that I don't teach a class until 9, but I get to work at about 7:30. So this is essentially my prep. So I'm going to check in, do some prep work, and I'll check in with you afterwards or a little bit later. Okay, it is about 8:45. My first class is going to start in about 15 minutes, which is called Hawk Academy, which is like a small group class where I'm supposed to be able to instruct them on specific skills in a small group setting, but just the reality of the situation is a lot of times that class turns into like a study hall or where's your missing assignments or let's get those things caught up. But more often, well, not more often than not, the goal is today we're going to go over their article of the week, which is something that they have every single week. I give it to them on Monday, it's due on Friday, and with this group we just kind of do it together. I read the article with them. I ask them like what kind of annotations do they feel like they can make as we're reading through it based on the 6 different annotation colors that we use. I think I've showed this to you before, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. So they get the article of the, oh, this is all draft stuff. They get the article of the week on Monday, and they have the whole week to work on it, like I said. And then they have these 6 different colors that they need to annotate in. And this is a TPT product from Amy Grosbeck. So green is predictions, yellow is inferencing, purple is evaluation / opinions, pink is connection, blue is comprehension, and orange is questions. And so they are told that in their article of the week, they need to try and incorporate all those colors at some point. So in Hawk Academy today, we're going to be reading this article titled Biden Wins the White House. I read it out loud with them, and then they are just responsible for coming up with things that they feel like they can annotate. One of the things that I feel like has been helpful with this group is just reminding them off the bat that they can easily start off with some greens, which are predictions, by reading the titles and predicting what the article is going to be about, and then reading the subheadings and making predictions on that. And then also letting them know they can use the pictures to get a couple inferences. So what can you infer he's doing in this picture, or how he's feeling, or where he's at? So we would do that, and then same with this picture here. It's just a way to help them realize it's not as daunting as some of them seem to think it is. So that's the plan in Hawk Academy today. What I had planned, or what I was figuring out to do as I was on my way to work, I was saying one class is significantly ahead of the other, and then that particular class I have for a longer session, and so what will I do with them for that time period? So what I've decided to do is I went on Google Classroom. This is what I've spent the last hour or so doing. We're in the middle of this activist project that we're really taking a long time to complete because the amount of class time that we have is so shortened, but it's okay. And we've done about 3 phases. They're like they've completed 3 portions of research, and now they're at the point where they need to start making their Google Slides presentation. But I have several students who have not even started part 1 of the research. So I made a list of students who haven't started part 1, part 2, and have not planned out their presentation yet. And so I sent them a message specifically to them on their Google Classroom stream, told them you're missing this part, this part, this part, and in class today they will be given an opportunity to work on getting caught up. The other kids who have those pieces turned in have 2 options, really 3 options. I'm going to allow them to work on any work that they need to work on or get caught up on, and they have the option to finish a game that we started yesterday, which was called Race to Ratify, because I have to stand up because my watch is telling me it's time to stand. Called Race to Ratify, where they just continue to learn a little bit more about the whole Federalist versus Anti-Federalist debate when the Constitution was in the process of being ratified, and it just kind of takes them through that process. Like they are a pamphleteer and they're working on convincing people to agree with them. We started that yesterday in an attempt to kill some time, but in a productive way. So they can either finish that game, or there's a different game on iCivics called Activate, which is which goes perfectly in line with the activist project. So they pick a cause, and then they like go through the steps that an activist theoretically would take. Okay, I can sit down now. So that's the third option they have. So I'm gonna let them choose, except for the kids that have those pieces of the project missing. They will have to work on that. I think I have support with an aide today or an additional teacher, and so if I do, I'm going to open up a breakout room, I think, and have them work in one room and the rest of the students just work in the main session. And that's just the way it's gonna have to be. Like, I don't love days like that or like this because I feel like I'm wasting teaching time, but I don't really have a choice. As far as the other thing I wanted to show you, one of the reasons why I really like Cami. Cami is something that I hated at the beginning of the school year because I was mad that I couldn't figure it out. I was trying to use the free version and that just wasn't working out for me. And then in a moment of weakness, I just said, whatever, you want me to pay $100 to have access to this? Fine, I will pay $100. So I did pay $100, but I can't remember the person's name right now. Someone that follows me on here was very kind and very supportive and felt bad and just wanted to support teachers. So she actually reimbursed me the cost of Cami, so I ended up not having to pay for it. I can't remember her name right now, but if you're watching, thank you so much. Thank you again. I really, really appreciate it. And so since then, and since I've played around with it more over the past couple of months, I've really come to enjoy it. And one of the things that I like is when we annotate things together, I like that I can save the annotations and attach it to the assignment. I do this for kids that can't type super fast. And really, that's why, because I know I'm typing at a rate that most kids can't type at. And instead of just sitting in class, like losing time waiting for everyone to type, I just let them know, like, type as much as you can, but just remember that I'm going to download these annotations and attach it to the assignment later today. And then they just know by the end of class, they need to make sure that they have these annotations on their assignment for classwork. So we are currently talking about Federalist versus Anti-Federalist. This is a lesson through the Stanford History Education Group / Reading Like a Historian. So they are reading a passage from Mellencamp Smith, who was an Anti-Federalist, and then Alexander Hamilton, who was a Federalist. We read it, we kind of talked about what they were saying in our own words, and then today, this is my switch class because they're catching up with my homeroom class. My homeroom class has already done this. Then today, they have this T-chart that gives them some more information, and then they're going to work in groups to fill out this graphic organizer answering these questions along the side here based on the Federalist and Anti-Federalist position. Asking, is the person happy with the Constitution? What kind of government would this person like to see? Find a quote to support your claim. And what type of people in society at that time would have been on the Anti-Federalist side versus the Federalist. So they're going to work on finishing that up today. I really did like this lesson. To introduce it, I did show them this video from Mr. Heimler. I always remind them that he teaches high school. He speaks super fast, but I really like his videos because they're just engaging to me. And so I told them the main thing I want you to be able to do by the end of this video is just be able to identify what a Federalist is and what an Anti-Federalist is, because he gives a ton of information. And so I just let them know, like, don't worry about remembering every single thing that he says, because it's information that we've either already heard before or just additional information that is not like the crux of this lesson. So in both classes, they were able to tell me by the end of the video what is a Federalist and what is an Anti-Federalist. So that's my general plan today. Homework class is just playing a lot of catch up or enjoying just some educational games. And then my switch class, we're gonna finish this lesson so that we can get caught up with the homeroom class. And then tomorrow, I'll teach a very light language arts lesson to kind of get ready for Unit 2 of Study Sync. So that's it. My class is gonna start in about 5 minutes. I will, check in with you later at some point. today. It's 12:55. I just finished up with my homeroom class, their second session. Sorry, I'm fixing my pants. So I am done with them for the day, and my switch class starts at 1:20. So I have about 25 minutes right now before my next class. So this is when I would normally eat lunch. It's a very rushed lunch. I'm a slow eater, and 25 minutes is not a whole lot of time for me to be able to eat lunch. But I normally sit outside on this bench that's right outside of my classroom if the weather's nice, and it is. So I'm probably going to do that. But first I need to get my salad put together. Today has just confirmed, let's see where I want to put you. I think what I said earlier, and I don't think I checked in after my first class, just that kids are struggling. And so I have a student who, you know, you have those students that you know they're bright just by what they say and do in just like a whole group session, but just are not getting assignments done and turned in. I have a few like that, but there's one in particular that I talked to specifically today because I just wanted to know like what's going on. So every now and then I get to a point where I just need like an explanation. Like I need to know if there's something else going on that I just don't know about. So I talked to the student, asked the student, you know, well, first I prefaced it by, you know, you seem bright from what I can tell. You're not rude, defiant, disrespectful. So just what is going on in regards to you not being able to get work done? And as I'm saying this, the student, I could tell, was getting emotional. And so I end up just hearing that they have a lot of things going on at home that they are trying to deal with, and that school, it sounds like it's gotten worse over the past year or so, and that school is normally a place where they can kind of not think about the things that are going on at home. But now that school is at home, they don't really have the ability to escape it. They're kind of just stuck in it. And that is preventing the student from like just being able to function and get things done in a virtual setting. And so after talking to the student, I felt really bad. I am very concerned. I hope that the student listens to the advice that I gave when I said, you know, we have a counselor that you can speak to. I would really highly suggest that you reach out to them. So I will probably email them the link to get in touch with that counselor. But I said, if nothing else, find a family member you can talk to, because at this point, the student doesn't feel like they can talk to their parent or their parents about it. So it's moments like that where you just have to be like, okay, so this student has quite a bit of work missing. And so I told the student, okay, let's not worry about the missing work. Let's just focus on this one project that we really need to kind of get caught up on, which was the initial reason why I even had this conversation with the student. And this is all obviously done privately. Like we were in a breakout room while the rest of the class was in the main session, and I had a student spy watching the class for me since I didn't have another adult. And so it just goes to show that sometimes students are doing things not so much because they just aren't into school, but there's things going on that they just can't handle or manage. And that was one of those situations. And that really does help, like just showing them that you are taking a moment to ask what's going on and then listening to them does help, because I did that with a different student last week and reached out to that student's parents. And not that everything's fixed and that student is feeling much better, but they're at least feeling better enough to kind of try again and stick around after class and kind of let me know, like, I'm getting caught up, this is where I'm at. It's just rough. After talking to that student today and hearing all the things that they are going through, I just said, I don't know that I would be able to handle that. Like, just dealing with school virtually in and of itself is a lot. And then add to that what is going on for the student, and it's overwhelming. So, I'm glad I had the opportunity, and it's kind of a blessing that the kids were just kind of working independently today, because I had the time then to talk to the student like that. But in general, I asked the kids how they felt about having all that free time. They really liked it. I do think that every now and then they just want to be left alone and left to work. Now, was everybody working on what they were supposed to be doing? I have no way of knowing that, and I kind of have to let that go. But it was nice for them and for me. So I'm going to enjoy this salad. It is a Trader Joe's salad. One of my favorites. I get it every week. It's a kale and edamame salad. It's what it looks like when it's mixed up. So I'm gonna go sit on this bench, have lunch, and get ready for my next session. If you love her, let her go. That's the message of that song. She's probably talking to the guy that was sitting by the grave from the poem Annabelle Lee. Just, if you love me, just let me go. Just move on with your life. Just kidding. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You guys sound so chipper today.
Do you want us to be louder?
No, you seem so full of life and vivacious and just ready to learn. I'm loving the eyeliner. Is it a winged eyeliner? I just can't do that. I can't master that skill set. Maybe you'll have to teach me one day. All right, we don't have a lot of time. And we have to get caught up to the homeroom class, so let's take a look at what you are going to be doing. You should already know because we started this yesterday and we need to finish it. Your attendance needs to be submitted. If it's not submitted yet, it's late, so you're gonna lose some points. And the only thing that we are focusing on today is making sure that we finish the lesson on the Federalists versus the Anti-Federalists. We got started yesterday. We read 2 passages, one from Mellington Smith, one from Alexander Hamilton, but that's about as far as we got. You look so intellectual today. So studious, like you're going to college. It's great. So as far as your independent practice is concerned, you have an article of the week that is due on Friday. It is on Joe Biden and him winning the election. Library curbside pickup is going to be on Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. I believe. I will let you know that today teachers were sent a video from Mrs. Waite, just almost like begging us to encourage you guys to place books on hold and pick them up, because she's stunned at how few kids are actually participating in that raffle. So she said between 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, as of right now, she only has 50 students in total that have put their name into the raffle, which is a very small amount. If you need to know what the gift card is for in order to be encouraged, I did find out that the gift card is always either to Amazon or it's just a Visa gift card. So I don't know about you, but if someone told me all I needed to do was place a book on hold, check out the book, especially because I need a book anyway for my class, and I would have a chance of getting a $50 gift card to Amazon or a Visa gift card, I would do that right away, especially because I'm telling you guys, the odds are like in your favor. There's, out of all the students in the school, which is over 1,200, I know that for a fact, there are only 50 students who have put their names in there, which means there's even less 8th graders that have done it. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to pick up a book this Thursday, you have to have had your book placed on hold by the end of the day today. Okay? So that is what I want to say about the curbside pickups. Oh, you were supposed to buy me something, but $45 of your $50. Have you bought me something yet? Okay, I'm sure it's coming in the mail. I'm sure it's on its way. All right, so just keep that in mind. You need to make sure that you're reading for a minimum of 30 minutes a day so that you are prepared and ready to take your AR test by Monday, November the 30th. And Friday is a spirit day. It is wear your favorite hoodie day. As always, I will offer you some extra credit. It'll show up eventually, but just know that that is an option for you. Are there any questions for me? Now 4:45. I got home maybe 10 minutes or so ago. took the dogs out. First and foremost, before I ruin it, I just want to celebrate because today is one of the days where I get my condo cleaned. So it's just, you may not be able to tell, but I can tell everything is nice and clean and pristine and fresh. Riley has an attitude. We don't know why. Riley. And Genesis is having a little light snack before dinner. So the last I checked, I was just getting ready to start my switch class, try and get them caught up to my homeroom class. That went well. We are almost done. They just need to review the answers that they put in that graphic organizer. Tomorrow, we will get that done for sure, because tomorrow is the day that I have them for 2 class sessions and homeroom for 1 class session. And so I think we'll be in a good place tomorrow. I will be teaching a new lesson tomorrow, just kind of get them ready for unit 2. I think I said that earlier today. So that went well. And then right after that class ended, I had an unscheduled IEP. A parent basically wanted to meet just to express some concerns about his child. So it was more of a collaborative meeting more than anything. And then right after that meeting ended, I actually had to leave that meeting before it ended. I had a union meeting that started at 3 o'clock and that ran to just about 5. And then I left soon after that. And so here I am. So I think I'm gonna close the vlog here, because once I go upstairs and start going through my evening routine, I just kind of forget that I'm vlogging, and then I take my eyebrows off, and then it's a dilemma because I don't know how to end the vlog without eyebrows. So basically what I'm going to do for the rest of the evening is I am going to pick my clothes out. I'm gonna go upstairs, pick out my clothes for tomorrow, get that all set up. I have no idea what I wanna wear. And then I'm gonna come downstairs and I am going to cook this Blue Apron meal. It is going to be garlic caper chicken with fettuccine, and it should be a quick one. It says about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to eat that dinner. And then I feel like there's something I want to do or need to do, and I'm just not thinking about it. We'll see. The good news is I feel like pretty well planned for the week that we come back from Thanksgiving break. So I have my lesson plans pretty much set up, so that when this week ends for me, I can just enjoy my break. I got some things caught up today. I don't think I checked in with you about this, but I've been stressed about my leadership class because it's nowhere near where it was supposed to be, because I thought we would be physically back in school by now. And so it's just been months of me trying to figure out how to make this class mean something to the students. There's still a ways for us to go. But right now we're just focusing on promoting Spirit Days and getting the word out and using social media. And I had to get meetings scheduled so that the kids could plan accordingly. So I finally got that done and posted. I had to set up a sign up genius for them to sign up for which Spirit Days they wanted to promote by creating social media materials. And there was something else. Oh, I needed to kind of update their grades. Like I am giving them grades for dressing out for Spirit Days, attending meetings, and I hadn't been able to find the time to get all of those grades added so they can see this is a real class and there are real expectations and there are consequences if you don't, do what you agreed to do as a member of leadership. So I feel good about that. So I think that's the thing I was thinking about. So I think after I eat dinner, I can kind of relax a little bit. And so I will try and do that and then get ready for another day tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed this look at just a average day where nothing super exciting was planned or happening, but just like a day in the life of teaching in a virtual setting. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave positive, encouraging comments down in the comment section below. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me over there so that you can see what outfit I picked to wear tomorrow. But I'm not sure what's gonna happen after this. I'm gonna be on break. I'm not sure if I'm going to put up a video during that time, but I will see you soon either way. So have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whatever it is, and I'll talk to you later. Good night.